Hello, everyone. This is Grand Madam from Grand Madam Tarot. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, or at least a peaceful one. I have been wondering about the news lately, especially about the banks. And I'm like, the feds shut down the operations for Silicon Valley Bank and two others. Yeah, there are three so far. I worked in the commissioner's office at one time, banking. The states shut down the bank, not the feds. So what's going on with that? I don't think there's any cause for panic at all because I threw down some cards ahead of time because I wanted to make sure I could read this for you and say it publicly, allegedly, as to what I see. Okay. Before we get into that, let me calm some nerves with some sounds. This tuning fork is in the note of F, frequency 174. This deals with connecting with the divine. This tuning fork is 396. It calms the nerves. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in through your nose. Oops. Mm. Breathe out. Now let's talk. Okay. I laid the question out in threes, and my question was, why would the feds move so quickly to cease the operations of these banks? Now, if insolvency was a problem, the state would have jumped on it. You see, these banks have something called bank examiners. They have inspectors. They come out on a routine basis. If they see anything wrong, if the numbers don't add up, if the math isn't mathing, the state jumps on it. You make the math, or we shut you down completely. That's not what the feds did. They came in and they shut down the operations. The money is still there. Well, whatever money that the bank holds. Here's a tip, folks. The bank only holds maybe a million or two in its offices. The rest of it has been invested in the other vehicles. Okay. You are $250,000 these days is insured by the Federal Deposit Company, FDIC. Okay. So you get your money. But on the news, they keep saying solvency. Okay. Let's take a look at the solvency. Let's take a look at, now obviously I can't look at what the investments were, but I can look at what triggered the federal government. Now, there is an agency you probably never heard of called CINFIN, the acronym CINFEN. And basically, they gather data on financial transactions across the board, internationally, okay, as well as nationally or domestically. When they are approached by another agency, let's say Treasury, to look into something, they're the ones who gather the data, okay, and they report back. All that's federal. Now, what I see is this. My question was, what triggered the federal government to move so quickly, just jump clean over top of what the states had to say? And this is what I have. I have Two of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, which is the money, and the Four of Swords. There were some financial contracts that needed to be retired. That was line 1. Line 2 says, someone is trying to move forward to calmer waters because they have been extremely active, and I do believe to the point of recklessness, or they haven't given any thought, or not maybe the correct thought, to their actions, their activities involving the bank. It is paramount that the bank maintains its reputation, but it was risky. It made risky maneuvers with its client base. Now, on risky maneuvers with the client base, and I don't need to say allegedly for this, a bank has bonds, which are worth value, usually with the state it's housed in, and it has its investments. What these banks did were they were bond heavy, too heavy. Because what happens with bonds is that when it's not the investment rate, when the interest rates go up, the bonds lose value. And then you're stuck with your investments. Well, in this case, the banks were so heavily bond filled. They had so many bonds. They had more bonds than anything else. I'll say it like that. Than anything else. And the bonds were dropping rapidly in value. Now, what triggered the two things triggered that? Number one, the Federal Reserve raised the interest rate. Not that much, but it was raised. So we had some bonds drop in value. It is said on the news that a venture capitalist, I don't know who that was, said that the bank was going under. So by the time the stock exchange opened, their stock prices dropped. Now, hold that thought. What also was happening was that these three banks were like commercial banks for the tech businesses, which is very risky, very, very risky when it comes to money and banking and investments. Um, the tech companies needed loans and the bank refused them. You had other small companies like entrepreneurial businesses. I would call them small businesses because they did have staff, but the bank was responsible for their payroll and operations monies and things like that. All risky businesses. Now, I'm not speaking against those businesses. I'm just saying they are risky endeavors. They're risky. And if you're going to have a portfolio with risk, you need something to balance it off. That's the incense. Let me move this over here somewhere, closer to the window. You need your balance. And these banks did not have, the Silicon Valley allegedly did not seem to have that balance. Yet the federal government said everybody is insured. You're insured up to $250,000. One lady I saw on a news vignette said, "Well, my company's got $10 million. Not at the same bank, I hope, sweetheart. You have to divvy it up because the bank is only going to be responsible, or is only going to insure 250. So you have to divvy that up and spread that across the land." So that's another problem. Now, I said that to say this. Sometimes some people can start a whole lot of mess for you and in your entire business, in your career, just with PR, bad PR. Okay? So I wanted to know what the truth was. Okay. Moving right along. Just keep that in mind. Let me get these over here. All right. The banks are trying to hold on to what they have. Decisions have to be made, or it's all over for the shouting. It's all over, okay? They know this. They understand this. Now, keep in mind what I said. There were reports that were either muddled and unclear or false. That changed everything. So when the feds went in and they found out the math wasn't mathing in their reports, they may have looked good, but a good analysis said, nah, the math's not mathing. The feds had questions about the money, about who was running the money. This could also be the venture capitalists who had questions. And that's when all hell broke loose. Okay? Allegedly. A decision was made regarding partnerships, alliances, and contracts. And the King of Swords came in and said, oh no, we're shutting you down. We don't like who you're doing business with. Or, we don't like what we saw in your report. There was withdrawal. These are the younger businesses. They want to get out. And these are, I would say, the tech companies. Now everything has been brought to a screeching halt. There's a lot of regret. And they are still being watched. Okay. My question was, before I hit the record button, was who are these contracts with that the federal government doesn't like? We'll pull out the Lenormands and see what I can see. And then I'm going to go back to what I have here. So, tell us about, we're going to clarify the Two of Cups and the Lovers. Two of Cups and the Lovers. Who are the Two of Cups? Who are the Lovers? Because these are the businesses they are banking for. SVB and the other banks are banking for. Who are these businesses? Two of Cups and the Lovers. Oh, what does that say to you? Somebody's gnawing away at the system or gnawing away, pocketing some change from the bank, and this is a straight up snake. Those are business, they're clients. Okay, wow. So, who were the clients? This is talk. I don't know if that's the venture capitalist, but there was talk around town about this person. A lot of good wishes and a lot of confusion came from this person. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's move right along and see where it goes from here. Will our money be impacted? That depends upon who else the bank has relationships with. Let me get my tuning forks out the way. Let's see what's next. I have the Hangman, Ace of Swords. Hangman. Things are stuck. Well, yeah, everything's suspended. Suspension. The truth of this is a inspection. This is either an inspection or an audit. What it looks like it's inspection because of the people involved showing it work, or an audit. And what they came up with was there was some false information regarding their security, stability. And here it, I just said this before I saw these cards. Here's the report. It was more than one. Let's keep going. Okay. So what the feds have done or what the feds are doing. Okay. They are in the process of cleaning things up. Well, they're going to make the bank clean it up now. They're not cleaning up anything. Major changes. Here's the cryptocurrency piece. Seed money for the cryptocurrencies. Thank goodness they didn't have a whole lot of that. Okay. Okay. Let me move this over. Excuse me, folks. I'm running out of juice. Let me charge this thing. Sorry. I'm going to have to pause you, babies. Be right back. Hello again. All right now. Where's the cryptocurrency? Oh, the crypto. So let's keep going. There's the feds. Ooh. This is my card for the feds, the emperor. Their banking strength they're looking at because now they feel like the documents have been manipulated. So, okay. We know they got caught with their hands in the cookie jar. That's why they are shut down. Their operations are shut down. Bank itself, I mean, all they had to do was just go in there with new rules, and you can bring the same old people back in there to run things. The staff, not necessarily the higher ups. So let's see. Let's ask the question if our money will be impacted by what they did. They got caught. Someone was, and this doesn't feel like. This doesn't feel like being footloose and fancy free kind of caught with the money. This feels like somebody told that politics. They were under the impression that they could make these risky maneuvers with these bonds. Bonds are government bonds. Mm-hmm. They thought they'd be safe. Why? They were told they would be safe if they did, if they changed procedures. That's what that was. They were kissing up to the politicians. Promises were made. Oh, we're going to change the banking regulations. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And you can make more money for yourselves. Oh, well. How will that affect your everyday working class business owner, consumer? Will what's happening at those three banks impact our money? The consumer's money. Because those banks got caught up in politics. I'm not mentioning any names, but things changed, and now promises cannot be kept. Will our money be impacted? Will we be affected? Will we lose our money? That's what will John and Jane Q Public lose their money behind what those banks did. Okay, Spirit shouted no. Let's see what the cards say. Okay. One more. Okay. Spirit says you already got your money under control. Spirit, yes, I understand that. However, I'm on this level and you are at a different level. And sometimes things hit us differently than the way you see them. Okay, Spirit? Will our money be impacted? Our money. New standards coming in. Or are they the old standards? Okay. This is the shutdown. The halting of operations. Okay, this is the problem. Excuse me, I gotta sip my coffee. Stability. They had stability in the beginning. They wanted more success. Now things have been exposed. A woman could be involved at this. Federal Reserve, Miss Yellen. Yeah, she's definitely on top of it. She's on top of this reading too. There are several things done. Questions, interrogatories regarding past deals, past activities, money. Yeah, we know it's about the money. Here's this lady again going gung-ho. Someone's in feminine energy. Conflict. Talking about okay. Conflicts trying to hold on to what they had. Was it worth it? Now, some people are broke, but it's not us. This is all about the bank. They're moving forward. They're moving forward. So those banks are moving forward. Okay, now, Spirit, I guess I'll do a yes-no spread. Or let's see. I've been on here 23 minutes. Will the ordinary consumer be affected by what the banks have done? What those specific banks have done? Like the people who live in California, the people who live in New York, the people who live across the nation. Will our money be affected by what happened at Silicon Valley Signature, and I forgot what that other bank was. Will our money be affected? Okay. I'm going to put 5 piles down. We're going to count the aces. We need 3 aces for yes. 2 aces or 1 ace or no ace means no. First pile. Will our money be affected? Okay. No, the authorities got it. Hold on. 3. Okay. No aces. Second pile. One ace. That's Ace of Pentacles. Third pile. Two aces. Fourth pile. Oh, shucks. 3 aces. And this is because of the other interrelationships those banks have with other banks. Last pile. Okay, 3 aces. Some will, some won't. I can accept that. I can accept that. Basically, we're still on top. But you're going to have to guard your money, watch your bank statements. You might want to put your cash somewhere else, some of your cash. I can't tell you where to put your cash, but read between the lines, like grandma and grandpa used to do, or great grandma, when they didn't trust banks. Okay, so I think this was quite interesting, and it answers my questions. Feds found out what they were doing, and the alarms went off. Then the feds found out what they were doing. Okay, this is Grand Madam. I'll see you in a few more days. I'm up to chapter 4 in my book, which is much easier to write than the first 3 for some reason. And I'll see you soon. Much love.